Stage 18, undulating profile, Movistar's Nairo Quintana up the road again, and a GC reminder, de Kooning Quickstep's Julian Alaphilippe 1.5 minutes ahead of Ineos' Geraint Thomas, with just 39 seconds separating the next four. So very odd that Quintana's move was allowed nearly 8 minutes, putting him in the thick of that GC crowd. Movistar came to the front 80k out, I guess, to protect Mikel Landa and Alejandro Valverde's GC positions from their teammate. This prompted Quintana to start agitating in the break, effectively using his companions to work against the rest of his team, which... Ineos demonstrated how teammates are supposed to work on the Col de Galibier, bringing Dylan van Baarle back from the break and the gap down, even as Quintana hit out solo. Just before he summited, Ineos' Egan Bernal punched clear, leaving the pace-making to DQS's Enric Mas. And within minutes, he was out of sight. Mas is riding to keep Alaphilippe in touch, so it's less weird than it might otherwise be for Thomas to attack just under the 20k to go banner. Yes, his teammate is up the road, but as I said on stage 15, the important gap is to Alaphilippe. Under Thomas's pressure, the yellow jersey begins to dangle, and despite some help from over-enthusiastic spectators and DQS staff, is eventually dropped. It does feel convenient that Thomas is also protecting his virtual GC place against his teammate, but he very quickly cedes pacemaking to Groupama FDJ's Thibaut Pinot after being caught. Still, Alaphilippe not only used the descent to catch back on, but went right through the group to lead the pursuit. Quintana took the stage, leapfrogging Landa on GC, before Bernal, with a dedicated sprint to catch some cast-offs from the breakaway, scored 32 seconds on the GC group, moving up 3 places to, far less awkwardly I might add, past Thomas for second overall. Stage 19, very high average elevation, but a day that would be defined by drama, beginning with Pinot's abandonment in an epic poem of bandage applications, magic sprays, inadvisable car services, and manful emotions. Ineos ground the field to a fine dust up the high-altitude Col des Errants, but switched things up 6k from the top, launching Thomas instead of Bernal and forcing his GC rivals to chase. Bora Hansgrohe continued to be the most game, but as 4th place Steven Kruiswijk of Jumbo-Visma put in a 4-reel counterattack, Bernal, like Thomas the day before, had no qualms about chasing a teammate to strike a vulnerable Alaphilippe, who had no immediate response. Even with the yellow jersey dangling, Bernal wasn't content to sit on and attacked again. Only early breakaway Mitchelton Scott's Simon Yates could come close to matching Bernal, still falling off as the white jersey cleared the top in the virtual lead, over 2 minutes ahead of Alaphilippe on the road. But as the race turned downhill, Yates quickly rejoined, while behind, Alaphilippe was putting on his usual descending clinic. And just as things were starting to get interesting, conditions on the road ahead prompted officials to cancel the race, which is within the rules, and also take time gaps from the top of the climb, which is not. Yes, the organizers can, quote, let the results stand, taking account of the gaps at the moment of the incident, but it does not allow them to declare a new finish line, and I think it's a colossal stretch to call the 34-minute span it took for every rider to cross the summit of the Iseran a moment of incident. Plus, there was this little issue with the new line being declared 10 minutes after it was first crossed, effectively making it a secret finish, and also one I suspect did not have accurate time checks. KOMs are based on points, after all, and this led to at least one high-profile timing error. And actually, I have a whole lot more questions on the specifics of this that surprisingly didn't make it into the barely a paragraph race communique, but the end result was Bernal going into the race lead based roughly on his advantage at the time the race was stopped, now 45 GC seconds ahead of Alaphilippe. No argument from me about a shortened stage 20, and in fact, these small days can be pretty active, but already getting photo ops. But it was still cool to see Bahrain Merida's Vincenzo Nibali manipulate the pack into building him a second breakaway to take him to the front of the race. The sprint train flexed early for Alaphilippe, but Jumbo-Visma took over 30k out, stoking hope that there might be GC fireworks from Kruiswijk and his 12-second gap to Thomas. But the biggest flash came as Alaphilippe finally blew, 16 days behind schedule and a scant 13k from safety. Ahead, Nibali thanked the last of the escape for their assistance and powered clear, as Quintana chased a move containing Marc Soler because Movistar, while Boris Gregor Mühlberger helped Ineos keep order and provided a potential launch pad for teammate Emmanuel Buchmann in 4th. Nibali cruised in for the stage win, Landa challenged with an attack in the final K before being eclipsed by Valverde in the closing meters again because Movistar. Bernal and Thomas shook hands just behind, while a quick glance from Buchmann confirmed that he had not made up the 27 seconds on Kruiswijk, leaving the non-Alaphilippe GC effectively unchanged. It was a somewhat anticlimactic conclusion to one of the most open and unpredictable tours in years, but also one whose contrasting bits of teamwork highlighted the importance of supporting not necessarily a single rider, but a common team goal. I'm Cosmo Catalano, and that's how the race was won.